everyone! Welcome to our YouTube channel, Research Ready and Student Matters Hub by Doc Lynn. In the past video that we had, ang diniscuss natin ay about making a interview guide for your qualitative research. Now, specifically, gumawa ako ng lesson video para naman sa inyong informed consent form. Kasi nabanggit ko dun sa lesson video na yon, yung tungkol sa informed consent form. Ito yung isa sa kadalasan nakakalimutan ng mga researchers, lalo na kung kayo ay student researchers on a bachelor's degree or even a master's degree. Yung pagpapapirma or paggawa ng informed consent form na hinihingi natin yung consent ng ating participants bago natin sila maisalang sa interview. So, it means meron tayong kailangan gawing form or meron tayong kailangan i-adapt, kailangan i-revise na form na po pwede nating makita sa anumang magandang sources na pwede nating gamitin para gawin nating informed consent form. Meron akong nagawa at na-adapt na informed consent form from the World Health Organization, particularly on conducting a qualitative research. Kasi kung involved ang human participants at iba pang bagay sa paggawa ng ating research, kailangan na maprotektahan natin yung kanilang karapatan. At ganoon din tayo bilang isang researcher. I will discuss the 4 things that you need to be reminded in making your informed consent form. At the same time, magbibigay ako ng example at i-discuss ko rin yung bawat parts ng isang informed consent form na po pwede nyong magamit sa inyong qualitative research. Okay, so ito yung 4 na importanteng bagay na present sa iyong informed consent form. Ang number 1, yung tinatawag nating ethical foundation. Siyempre, kung ikaw ay isang researcher, alam mo yung purpose ng research mo, alam mo yung procedures, pero yung participants mo hindi alam. So, by having your informed consent form, may inform sila kung ano ba yung mga procedures, kung ano yung purpose, kung ano yung risk, ano yung benefits, at ano din yung kanilang rights pag sila ay nag-participate. Pero basically, yung pagbibigay ng informed consent form, I should say that it's basic in doing or conducting a research. This form parts of the ethical foundation of the everything you do kapag kayo ay nagre-research. Yung number 2 naman natin or yung pangalawa, at tinatawag natin siyang legal requirement. Merong mga ibang institusyon na napakahigpit, academic institution na napakahigpit pagdating sa pagkakandak ng research. Meron pa nga ang iba sa kanila ay merong tinatawag na institutional review board na kung saan ang isang researcher ay hindi pwedeng mag-conduct agad-agad ng kanyang research kung hindi ito dumadaan sa ethics committee. Lalo na kung ang involved sa iyong research ay mga delikadong bagay, sitwasyon, tao, or mga circumstances. Kailangan merong legal foundation ang iyong research. Once again, this is to protect your participants and to protect you as well as a researcher. Number 3 naman natin, yung protection ng iyong participants. Dapat alam ng mga participants natin kung ano yung procedures na gagawin natin pag tayo ay magkakandak na ng ating actual interview. Baka mamaya magulat sila na meron palang mga ganitong tanong or meron palang mga ganitong situational analysis na hindi ako aware as a participant. Ngayon, kung nakapagbigay tayo ng informed consent form in advance, nabasa nila ito at napirmahan nila at nag-agree sila na mag-participate, which means nabasa nila yung content at alam nila kung ano yung magiging proseso. Ikaw naman bilang isang researcher, kung ano yung nilagay mo dun sa informed consent form mo, dapat yun lang yung gagawin mo during the conduct of the interview. Kasi anytime, even at the middle of the interview, pwedeng mag-refuse ang yung participants na hindi na siya mag-join dun sa interview dahil hindi na siya komportable dun sa mga tinatanong mo sa kanya or sa sitwasyon kung saan nandun siya. Dapat maprotektahan natin yung ating participants. Yung willingness niya to join our interview or focus group discussion, isang napakahalaga or importanteng bagay ito para maging successful ang ating qualitative research. At yung pang-4 naman natin ay yung tinatawag nating transparency and trust. Kung naging maayos ang proseso or sistema na ginagawa ng isang researcher, during or before, during, at after nag-conduct ng kanyang qualitative research. masasabi natin na yung datang nakuha niya ay magiging maayos at makakapag-interpret siya or makakapag-analyze siya ng lahat ng information according doon sa kanyang plan bilang isang researcher. Kasi minsan meron tayong mga doubts or meron tayong problema or struggles na kinakaharap bilang isang qualitative researcher. Napakarami niyan. Kasi ang qualitative research ay hindi katulad ng quanti na ibibigay mo ang iyong questionnaire in any form sa iyong respondents and then i-retrieve mo sila. Ang qualitative research kasi, lalo na ang mga researcher, dapat i-involve talaga natin yung ating sarili pag nag-gather na tayo ng data. Para madali nating i-trail yung mga problema na pwedeng makita natin habang tayo ay nag-i-interpret. So, yun yung mga 4 na bagay na inyong dapat tandaan pag gagawa kayo ng informed consent form. Ito yung laman ng isang informed consent form. So, pwede nyo itong i-adapt, i-revise nyo siya, or pwede nyo siyang gayahin. Depende kung ano yung pangangailangan ng inyong qualitative research. So, tignan natin siya isa't isa. Tignan natin isa-isa yung kanyang mga parts. Tignan natin kung nag-qualify siya dun sa sinasabi natin na kailangan mako-contain ng ating informed consent form. So, kunyari, ito yung aking research title or title ng aking study. Ilalagay ko siya dyan. Tapos, ilalagay ko din kung sino yung mga principal investigators. Kung marami kayo or kung iisa ka, ilagay nyo dyan yung name, yung school, yung address, phone number, tsaka email address. Kasi ito yung magiging guide para dun sa iyong participant na anytime gusto ka nilang kontakin para sabihin yung kanilang affirmation or hindi sila pumapayag sa iyong interview, dyan kanila pwedeng makontak. Then, part of it also, the first major part ng iyong informed consent form ay yung iyong introduction. So, you might say you are being asked to take part in a research study. So, let's highlight it. So, you are being asked to take part in a research study. Before you decide to participate, you must understand why the research is being done and what it will involve. Please read the following information carefully. Kindly ask the researcher if anything needs to be clarified or if you need more information. Very systematic yung ating pag-i-introduce ng ating research. So, binibigay natin kung ano yung objective ng ating study at kung ano rin yung kakalabasan or paano ba ang gagawin natin para makakuha tayo ng information. Or kung mayroong question yung ating participant, pwede siyang magtanong. Pangalawang major part yung tinatawag nating purpose ng study natin. Kung nakapagbigay na tayo ng simple or little introduction, information about our qualitative research, dito magiging very particular tayo. So, ipakilala mo yung iyong sarili, tapos ilagay mo dito sa underline part yung tinatawag nating title ng iyong qualitative research. So, nakalagay din dito, I will give you information. So, let's highlight it again. I will give you information and invite you to participate in this research. You do not have to decide today whether or not you will participate in the research. Before you decide, talk to anyone you feel comfortable with about the research. With your knowledge and expertise, you can help me elaborate the topic under study. So, it means you are specifically telling your participants the purpose of your study and what will be the participation of the interviewee or yung participants mo. Then, the third major part, is what we call the type of research intervention. So, what should be the content of this one? This research will involve your participation in a group discussion or maybe in an interview that will take about blank minutes of the interview. Ma'am, how can we identify the number of minutes? As I have mentioned in my past video, you can clearly identify kung ilang minutes ang makokonsume mo sa interview pag nagkanda ka ng pilot interviews. Nag-exercise ka or nagpa-practice ka bago ka mag-conduct ng actual. So, doon mo nalalaman kung ilang minutes or ilang hours yung duration pag ikinandak mo yung iyong actual interview. Another part is the voluntary participation. So I will highlight this again so that we can emphasize our discussion. So what are the contents of the voluntary participation? So you might say your participation in this research is entirely voluntary. It is your choice whether to participate or not. If you choose not to participate, the researcher will understand. If you participate, you may change your mind later and stop participating even if you agreed earlier. So napakalinaw nito. Kahit na nakapag-participate na siya on the first part and then at the middle of the interview or focus group, the participant is no longer comfortable, then he or she might end the conversation. You have also to be very particular what are the particular procedures that the participant will be involved in. In this case, I have mentioned 9. First, the researcher will explain the concepts of the interview, including its purpose and procedures. Second, the researcher will remind you to express your willingness to participate, which I discussed in the informed consent form last time or the interview guide. The researcher will ask if it is convenient for you to record and take pictures of the interview process. If you have watched my recently video about interview guide, you will see all of this. Fourth, the researcher will confirm that you have received, read, and signed the informed consent form. You will be asked to introduce yourself as part of the profiling and the background information. This is also part of your interview guide. You will be told about the duration of the interview. You will be asked about your ideas and experiences as a, so ito yung topic. You can use the Filipino or English language kung ano yung preference ng iyong participant. And you might be chosen to participate in the member checking after the results are analyzed. Member checking is a form of validating the results of your qualitative research. When you said member checking, but I'm going to discuss this in another video, it means that you're going back to your participants in order for them to confirm whether the analyzed data you have presented to them is the same idea that they had during the interview. In that case, magkakaroon ngayon ng affirmation sa part ng participants na tama yung ginawa mo as a researcher. Ganyan nga yung sinabi ko. Parang ganon yung konsepto. Next, the risk. You have also to state the risk of your research. So what will be your statement here? You may decline to answer any or all questions and terminate your involvement at any time if you choose. You may share some personal or confidential information by chance, or you may feel uncomfortable talking about some of the topics. However, as a researcher, I do not wish for this to happen. You do not have to answer any questions or participate in the discussion if you feel the question or questions are too personal, or if thinking about them makes you or talking about them makes you uncomfortable. So that is very clear. You are giving your participants freedom to participate or not to participate at any time or course of conducting your interview or focus group discussion. Then you have also to state what will be the benefits of this interview or my participation in this research. It has to be clear. No, you have to be honest. You can tell your participant there will be no direct benefit to you, but your participation will help me find out more about the topic under study. Then you have also a portion about confidentiality. This is an important part of your informed consent form. For this research study, your comments will be confidential. You have to be true to your words as a researcher. The researcher will make every effort to preserve your confidentiality, including the following. So you have to cite the items of what are you going to do in order for all the information to be confidential and for your personal and academic consumption only. Assigning codes, names, numbers for participants that will be used on all research notes and documents. Keeping notes, interview transcriptions, and other identifying participant information in a safe place in the personal possession of the researcher. Lastly, participant data will be kept confidential except in cases where the researcher is legally obligated to report specific incidents. You can include more if you want depending on the needs of your qualitative research. This is only an example. You can suit the information based on the needs of your qualitative research. Then you have also to reflect your contact information. Aside from you have stated it above, you have to restate it again before the end of the informed consent form. Suppose you have questions at any time about this study or you experience adverse effects as a result of participating in this study, you may contact the researcher whose contact information is provided on the first page. So how is this applied? Halimbawa, ako as a participant, I have participated on the duration of 60 minutes in your interview in the past. And then, habang nag-iisip ako, nagko-contemplate ako as the participant of your research, parang naisip ko, ay ayoko na. Parang hindi ko gusto or hindi ko pala kaya na mag-participate. For any reasons, you may contact the researcher and then tell the researcher that you are withdrawing your participation. Meron bang choice si researcher? No. If the participants would not like to be included in your study, then you don't have the right to include all the information you get from them in your analysis. Then lastly, kailangan mag-reflect yung consent ng iyong participant. So ano ba yung laman ng consent ng iyong participant? So dito niya na sinasabi na, sige, I am willing to participate. I have read and understand the provided information and have had the opportunity to ask questions. I understand that my participation is voluntary and that I can withdraw at any time without giving a reason or a cause. That should be clear to you as a researcher. I understand that I will be given a copy of this consent form and the possibility of being chosen as participant again in the member checking for results validation. So here is the part wherein the participant will say yes or no. If the informed consent form has been returned to you and it has a mark yes, meaning the participant is willing to participate. Then if it is no, meaning you have to eliminate the target participant because he or she is not willing to participate. And then you have the participant signature and the investigator signature. I would like to acknowledge some of the information that I get from the World Health Organization on their example of informed consent form for qualitative studies. Now, you can make your own informed consent form. Bago kayo mag-conduct ng inyong qualitative interview, nakagawa na kayo ng interview guide, pero dapat napirmahan muna ng inyong participants ang inyong informed consent form para maayos ang pagkakandak ng inyong research. Please like, share, and subscribe our lesson videos and kindly share it also with other researchers so it might help in making their research project. Always remember, we unlock insights to empower your minds. Thanks for watching everyone and see you on our next lesson video.